Pidgey! Hi, today we're talking about Pokemon. There's a new installment coming out on the Switch. This is Generation 8. Just kidding, it's Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, coming out on November 9th or something like that, I don't know. I had a great video written, recorded, and scheduled to come out here, 1 week before E3. They revealed the new title here, 2 weeks before E3. I had a great joke about how we'd call it Pokemon Switch and Pokemon Swatch, but whatever. Let's talk about what we can expect and what we can hope for. First off, adorable. The Let's Go spin-off takes us back to Kanto and lets you run around with your Pokemon again. Dope. They're also removing battle capture mechanics and making them similar to that of Pokemon Go. Less dope. However, by taking us back to the first region and combining it with the mobile game features, it's a clear move that they're trying to welcome newcomers into the core franchise. The trailer doesn't provide a whole lot beyond showing off the shiny new features, so let's talk about other core elements that we might see come out of this game. We'll be talking about the rival, the tutorial, and the camera. Lego. Number 1. The rival. With a return to Kanto, there's also the chance of seeing the infamous rival, Poo-Poo. After the first generation, the intensity of the rival has gotten looser, so it's likely that his role would not be the same asshat that many of us grew up with. Also after the first game, the champion has just been some rando from the region. I miss that rivalry that builds to the championship battle at the very end. That being said, I think I've come up with a happy medium for the OG rival and the rival that we have now. I assume it's too late for the Let's Go games, but hey, y'all got a new Pokemon game coming out in 2019. If you want to use it then, Nintendo, all yours. Okay, picture this. You have always been starry-eyed about the champion, but they are light years ahead. As you play the game, they battle you with their weaker Pokemon, but you've seen that they have a real strong team that they're just choosing not to use against you. You travel across the land, searching far and wide, gym battle, yada yada yada, when suddenly, the champion is captured. You come to the rescue and save them from the evil team of the region. Team Block It. I don't know. You earn their respect, and at the climax of the game, you finally get to fight them at their full power. I know that something similar has been done in the past with Adler from Black and White and Diantha from XY, but I would love to see this relationship more involved. You only battle those guys like once or twice. If this new champion was more frequently battling you like a rival, they would be more memorable. Cause seriously, who was Diantha? Number 2, the tutorial. With new Pokemon games being very handholdy and the clear move to welcome in inexperienced players, there is a high chance that the tutorial will be long and painful. Game Freak. Trust your players. Not everything needs to be spelled out, so just keep it short, sweet, and to the point. Number 3, camera control. Though it's not a feature in the game, I still think camera is worth talking about. Aside from the massive jump from 240p to 1080p, one of the biggest differences between the overworld in Sun Moon and Let's Go is the camera. With Sun Moon, we had an automatic moving camera creating pre-planned glamour shots of the Alola region. Exploring the overworld is one of my favorite parts of Pokemon, and those cinematic angles supplement the adventure. Unfortunately, we also have tons of moments that counter those experiences, namely almost every time you travel down in the game. Suddenly, your looking room is very minuscule and the majority of what you can see is stuff behind you. It may seem like a minor gripe, but that looking room is critical during exploration. But what is looking room? Looking room is a visual arts term where the subject is strategically placed in the frame to establish a relationship with the world. It's also related to these things called vectors, but for now we'll just use the term looking room. In a 2D platformer like the original Super Mario Bros., the game starts you at the left of the screen to convey to the players that you're supposed to move right. In a top-down 2D game like the original Pokemon, the camera always frames you in the center of the screen with a consistent looking room in every direction. The game has you traveling up, down, left, and right, so it's important that your field of view isn't restricted in any direction. A 3D game with a third-person perspective works best from an over-the-shoulder angle, where the looking room is the upper half to 2/3 of the frame. It's a 3D environment, so it's perceived as forward instead of up. Again, Sun Moon did an okay job with this. It looks nice, but the weird camera didn't help me understand where I was going. It often had me navigating with the minimap on the bottom screen. So far, we haven't seen that weird camera in Let's Go. In fact, even though it's a 3D Pokemon game, the camera appears to function like original Pokemon, keeping you more or less in the center at all times. The less dramatic camera may not be fancy wooshy, but it's more practical. Like I mentioned earlier, exploring is one of my favorite parts of Pokemon, and being able to look around and see exactly what I want would make the world another notch more immersive. That being said, I do appreciate the fact that the game is choosing function over form, and if the game benefits more from a locked camera with reasonable looking room, then I'll gladly take that over this. It may seem like a weird tangent to talk extensively about camera, but I wanted to mention it looking back at Sun Moon and looking forward to the Gen 8 release in 2019. I assume these games will run on the same engine, so the camera might be handled in a similar fashion. Alright, this video is a bit all over the place, so let's recap. The game integrates elements from both mainline Pokemon games and Pokemon Go in order to welcome in new players. The role of the rival has evolved over time, but I think there's a way to combine the old version of the rival with the new one. Short tutorials would be amazing. And lastly, even though I would love some fancy whooshy camera in Pokemon, keeping the camera fixed in order to maintain functionality is totally welcomed. Anyways, whether you're into this new Let's Go series or not, it's coming. So I think it should be talked about critically in order to learn what works and what doesn't work. Because good or bad, the only way to improve these games is to learn from the past. Oh wait, no, this is Pokemon, the series all about taking great mechanics and never using them again. I miss you, Autorun.